Well, the first introduction to ozone was here in this office, with the shots on certain treatments, with sore neck, muscles, and that kind of thing, and getting shots.
And how was that experience for you?
That was good. I was really impressed. The shots seemed to work, and that was impressive to me.
Cool.
So I had prostrate surgery. It's been about a year ago. And during the surgery, everything went really well. When I woke up from the surgery, they told me, that everything had gone well. But one thing they didn't tell me is when I had a bowel movement or went to the bathroom, I shouldn't strain, because I guess what the prostrate surgery was is they had cateterized the prostrate. They had scraped away both sides so that...
So you had an enlarged prostate, and that's why they went and cleaned it up for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they, I guess, or I didn't remember, or they didn't tell me that I shouldn't strain. And I had to go to the bathroom, and I went in, and I guess, with surgery and everything else that goes on, you get kind of clogged up.
Yeah, there's gunk in there.
And I strained, I guess, too much, and I burst the cauterizations. And so it started bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, well, you shouldn't have done that. And I said, well, anyway.
Was that in the hospital?
Yeah, that was in the hospital. But then it kind of stopped.
So they didn't say we have to go repair it?
No.
What did they tell you?
They said, well, it'll kind of repair itself. And so I said, okay. They kind of watched me for a while, and it kind of stopped, and there wasn't a problem. And so they sent me home. But I had a catheter, and in me, and I had to keep that in for a couple days. But the thing is I kept bleeding. When I go take a pee, it would be a lot of blood.
Yeah.
And I kind of called up and said, well, this is what's happening. And they said, well, it should stop. It'll take a while, but it should stop. Well, that went on for the first week. I went in for an appointment, told him that it was still bleeding, and they checked me, and he says, well, it should get better. And the second week, I was still bleeding. It went a third week, and I can't remember whether I don't think I had the catheter anymore, but that third week, they went in and he went in to do some with a scope or something.
Oh, yeah.
To look at how things were, and that kind of caused some ruptures, I think, or something. And so I started bleeding a little bit more, and he said it would be okay. And then the fourth week, I was still bleeding. And I thought, and I was having to lay down a lot, so I was in bed most of the time. Yeah. Trying to not move around and cause more problems, and so I was getting all sorts of muscles strained, and just from laying so much, I think I got that little. I remember telling you I got that numb spot here on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, maybe I just need to go in, and I was feeling out of whack anyway. So I made an appointment, came in, and he said, well, I said, is there anything that you can do? Because I told him about the bleeding, and he said, well, there may be. And so that's kind of when that story started. When right. I guess he'd never done it before, from what I understood.
No. So he had told you to come back, and the reason he told you to come back was because he was going to try it himself.
Yeah.
So that day he tried it himself, and quite near peed all over his room until he found the garbage can.
Well, it's kind of strange, because when you're inserting for a catheter, there's a certain point where you enter the, I guess, the bladder.
You meet the bladder, yeah. You
Yeah.
pass the sphincter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes all over. But what I was doing was going to that point, and then, he showed me how to do the procedure, and so I started doing that, and I would come in every day, and I would, go in the back office and do it on myself, and I found that he kind of said that you'll know when you get to the area that's the problem, because the pain, and then, but I also, after a week or two, I found that sometimes if I went too far, then I'd urinate. I mean, it would go all over.
Yeah.
So it became a trick to not go too far and get there. But as I did it, I could feel. The first time I did it, it was a little bit painful. The oxygen, I guess, hitting the area. But after a while, it got a little better. And,
right.
But after I learned how to do it, it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, it wasn't painful in any way. So.
Oh, okay. So the pain subsided after some time.
Yeah, I mean, if you lubricate the hoses and all that.
And we were just using olive oil to
Yeah.
lubricate it, and help it that way.
And then after about, I don't know how long, I did that for a couple weeks. But the thing I forgot to say was that after the first treatment, maybe it was the second treatment, the blood it stopped bleeding.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and it had been bleeding for a month before that.
Right.
But after that second treatment, it stopped bleeding, and then it never bled after that. And then I felt like it just continued to get better and better. And after several weeks, it was fine. So
that's wonderful. So now where you're at here is you've now gotten your own ozone equipment, right? And how difficult was it to obtain that?
Not difficult at all. You gave me the company and the site to get on. What is it? 03?
Yeah, Simply 03.
Yeah, Simply 03. Got on there. It had different options, and it was really easy to choose. I stuck with the home option.
Yeah.
And it had different categories of that, different equipment that you'd get. And so I picked the one that I thought would work best for me.
And you're not doing it for a penile catheter anymore.
No.
You've switched.
Well, the thing is that I'm doing it now for is my wife Linnell has been diagnosed with early Alzheimer's, and I came in and talked to you and said if you thought that it might help with that, and so I've been coming in on a weekly basis every day for now probably a month, or more, getting the bag, and she's, I don't know what you call that,
rectal insufflation bag,
and doing that, and I think it's helped a lot. And there's been periods of times when we haven't been able to do it for a couple, weekends, we don't come in on Saturday and Sunday. And I noticed that by Monday, she's, as far as her functioning and the way she does, it seems to, she has more problems through the weekend. Remembering and kind of that kind of thing. So I think it helps. I don't know if it cure it, but it's helping. With her to stabilize and what study and I've been able to do on Alzheimer's since that time is to they don't have any cures yet, but there's been things that you can do to kind of
slow the progression.
That's a good word. Slow the progression. So, and I think it's been helping. So
that's awesome.
So we're excited about having it at home where we can use it and use it through the weekend. That's the other thing.
Absolutely.
Have that break.
Yeah.
And then maybe do it twice a day. I don't know. see if that kind of helps out too.
And the nice thing about having it at home is you can test different things out, and
right.
And oxygen helps with absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So, well, is it okay if I use this to share with others?
You betcha.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks.
Okay, thank you.